Okay. So in this video, I'm going to talk about the different types of breathing that we're going to be using during Neigong and Qigong practice. So there's three, I guess. There's normal breathing, which is breathe deep. Whatever you're doing, just breathe deeper and slower. Simple. And that's probably where you would start when you're starting with your life and death Qigong. Okay. The second and third type are Buddhist breathing, or what's sometimes known as bellows breathing, and Taoist breathing. Now, I've discussed these before, but I want to just go over them again quickly. Buddhist breathing is when you inhale and you basically imagine that you're inhaling all the way to your dantian, so the area below your navel. Okay? So you basically imagine that dantian is like a balloon down there, and that as you inhale, it expands. Okay? So it acts like the lungs. What this helps to do is it helps to breathe all the way to the bottom of the lungs so that you gain more oxygen. And when it comes to the difference between Taoist and Buddhist breathing, they have different psychological effects on the mind. So it depends on what kind of Qigong you're doing. So for the life and death Qigong, you're going to be using Buddhist breathing. Very, very simple, okay? And a way to learn Buddhist breathing is to just cover your dantian with your palms and breathe in and out and really try to get the reaction of the abdomen to become natural. That you breathe in and it expands, you breathe out and it contracts very slightly. It's not like a contraction like tightening your muscles. It's like a balloon, right? Air leaves, it gets smaller. Taoist breathing is also known as reverse breathing, and it's the opposite. So that one is a little more intense, and when you breathe in, your dantian, your stomach, your abdomen contracts, okay? And as you breathe out, your abdomen expands. I know that information's out there everywhere. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it, I think, in another video, about the kind of specifics of what the Taoist breathing is about. But I did mention that psychologically, physiologically, there's kind of two different things that happen from one to the other. And in essence, they each empower a different part of the nervous system, right? You have basically things you can control and things you cannot control in your body, right? So your things you can control are things like movement, without using all the scientific jargon. And things you can't control are things like your heartbeat, okay? The fact that it just keeps going, doesn't matter if you're awake or asleep. So you're going to be empowering each one of those depending on what type of breath you're using. So when you're doing Buddhist breathing, okay, so the belly's expanding as you inhale, Buddhist breathing tends to empower the settling of the nervous system, if you will. It releases the motor control part of the nervous system more so. So you're not about to move or anything like that. You're trying to actually rid yourself of the external body. And in Buddhism, I'm not going to jump too far into any of those, but in Buddhism, they talk a lot about emptiness, and one of the, there's different absorptions to emptiness, or levels of emptiness, and many of them have to do with releasing the self and releasing the physicality of the body. This is why that breathing becomes important, because it physiologically and psychologically allows you to become more introspective rather than extrospective, okay? You're not paying attention to the outside world, you're paying attention to your inner world. So in the life and death Qigong, right, which is the one we're starting with, as the hands expand, the lungs expand, the belly expands. My eyes generally will be closed or half-lidded because I'm trying to remove myself from the external world, okay, because I'm paying attention to what's going on inside me. Now, Taoist breathing is the opposite. Taoist breathing empowers the ability to move, okay? It empowers the I'm about to feeling, okay? When it gets into meridian theory and stuff, these will make more sense as well too. But that's for specific types of Qigong as well. So if you find more Taoist Qigongs versus Buddhist Qigongs, the Taoist Qigongs tend to be my interaction with reality as opposed to my inner reality, studying that. So which one am I studying? That's the type of breath I'm going to use. So again, just to review, life and death Qigong, Buddhist breathing, the belly expands, the hands expand, the belly contracts, the hands contract. Try that for a bit.